Meneer Vos het baie uitgereis om meneer onthou as hulle skoolhoof, ons wat jonger is onthou meneer as ons skoolhoof, baie onthou meneer as Afrikaans onderwyser en baie was ook saam met meneer op skool. Vertel ons bietjie meer persoonlik, op 'n meer persoonlike vlak, wat se invloed het Grey op meneer se lewe gehad tot dusver?
Dennis, ja, ek hoop 'n paar ouens onthou my ook as 'n cricketafruster, want dit was van my lekkerste dae op die cricketveld en dan in Leefhuis en in die klaskamer. Maar ek is hier gebore by Grey en ek is van die home af is ek Brilhuis toe, waar my pa huisvader was. En so het ek maar tussen die seuns van Grey College groot geword en nou uiteindelik oud geword. En ek sou dit vir niks in die wêreld ruil nie. Dis die wonderlikste werk en die wonderlikste plek om by te werk en te bly waar daar ooit kan wees. Gelukkig was my pa en my ma betrokke by Grey as onderwysers en my pa later as skoolhoof en daarom kon ek my uitleef hier by Grey vir nou al amper 60 jaar.
Mr. Forstead, looking at your office and thinking about all the legends that used this very same office before you as headmaster of this school, what went through your mind the first day when you stepped into this office?
Dennis, the first thing was a sense of utter humility, to think that I would follow in the footsteps of very great people who came before me. A person like Johannes Brill, who set the tone for Grey as an academic institution. And if you look back at Jacques Marie Meyden, I think he's still the doyen of principles of Grey. He was the man who started with the parallel medium policy and said that all South Africans should have a chance at Grey and to be brought up and to be educated at the school and to learn about tolerance and patience and so many other good qualities that come from the school. And after that, Mr. Foro was the principal when the school was 100 years old. My own father, Mr. Cronje Patat, who was a great man in his own right at the school. And then my immediate predecessor, Dr. Haynes, who changed many things for the better at Grey College. It was very easy to follow in his footsteps and just to continue the work that he started doing at Grey.
Meneer, baie mense wil altyd vir ons as oud Greys, mense word baie gekonfronteer met die vraag, wat maak Grey anders? Hoekom is Grey vandag nog wat dit was, jy weet 'n paar dekades terug? Wat maak Grey wat hy is en was en altyd sal wees?
Weet jy Dennis, as 'n mens daai boek wat in 2005 verskyn het oor die skool, as 'n mens daai boek gaan kyk en jy lees wat oud Grey skryf, van die vroegste tye, so vroeg as ons kon kry, in die baie vroeë 1940s, daar's daar twee goed wat altyd deurkom. Die een is lojaliteit teenoor Grey, nie teenoor jouself nie, teenoor Grey, teenoor jou span, teenoor jou klas, teenoor jou koshuis, teenoor jou skepper, teenoor jou land, en die ander een is waardes. Values is die woord wat seker die meeste in daai boek voorkom. En dis hoekom ons nou nog nie reëls in hierdie skool op skrif het nie. Ons stelsel van waardes wat deur die seuns self bepaal word.
Ja.
En ek is baie bly ons is besig om daai waardestelsel nou weer oor te skryf, want dis 'n klomp seuns wat nie betrokke was toe ons dit die eerste keer gedoen het 7 jaar gelede nie. En die woord wat nou by omtrent elke seun voorkom in daai waardestelsel is respek, wat in die vorige een nie voorgekom het nie. 'n Baie noodsaaklike woord.
Ja, nee, verseker. Then Mr. Forstead, one thing I'd like to know from you is where do you see the school in 20 years' time? And I suppose it would have been interesting if someone asked you the same question 20 years back. But yeah, where do you see the school in 20 years' time? If you close your eyes and think about it, what do you see?
Yeah, it's a very tough question, and it's a very tough next 20 years for all schools in South Africa, especially top schools like our own. The one thing I'm convinced of is that Grey will be the benchmark for schooling in South Africa. And we have to really work towards that, academically, sport, at cultural activities, but especially at educating gentlemen. As a means, if you look at that book, you'll also see the same thing. The very last page of that book asks one question, and that is quo vadis. It's also the same question that appears as you leave the museum of Grey College. The last mural there asks the question, quo vadis. And the answer is, when the occasion demands it, the Grey boy will come up to scratch.
Absolutely.
In 20 years' time, if the Grey boy still come up to scratch, we'll be the benchmark of education.
Then finally, Mr. Forstead, in terms of old Greys and their role, what is the ideal role of an old Grey, and how important is that role in your eyes?
as we go into a new South Africa, Old Grace will play a colossally important role. The one thing I would beg them is that they should always be loyal to the school. Not to a specific person in the school, but to the ideals and the value system of Grey, and that they should continue that in their lives, but also when they work and deal with other people in our country and all over the world. We have to prove that we can make Grey College work, and through that make South Africa work. Old Grace must support us in that. The first thing we want is not their money. We want their loyalty. We want their support at all times.
Mr. Forstead, thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate this, and I think everyone out there that's going to look at this video will definitely appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Dennis. Bye now.